Hey guys.
What up?
Hello.
So Steve is on a road trip right now. Steve, can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, there's a little delay. It's a little awkward.
Oh wow, it's a big delay.
But he's making the effort, guys. He's trying.
That's right.
Steve, you got disconnected from the audio side, like the other one on your phone. I think so. Maybe refresh that.
Uh-oh, I hear trouble coming.
The video looks
Technical
better.
issues. Oh,
No,
hey, Olivia.
And by the way, everybody, we do have a Jeopardy
Where?
today, so stay tuned till
Mhm.
later for a little Jeopardy.
Can you guys
Mute Jay.
hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I hear
There's a
Steve.
big delay. Hi, Livia.
Hey, Olivia. Oh, here we go.
Oh boy.
Special guest, Olivia.
That's Olivia. Wait. You muted. You're muted. Hold on. Say it again.
Why did...
She's live.
She's live.
Uncle Bob.
How are
Uncle
you?
Bob.
What about Uncle Steve?
Uncle Steve.
What about Mr. Evan?
Hi, Mr. Evan. Hi, Daddy.
You gotta stay in focus with me.
Yeah.
Here.
Is it off here now?
Okay.
Yeah, it should be.
Go on.
It should be headphones.
It's on the dining room table, babe. Shut the door.
All right, Ian, can you hear me?
I can. I sure can.
I hear you too, Steve.
Good.
Uncle Bob.
Uncle
I think I'm all sorted
Bob.
We're all sorted out. All right, Steve, give us the play-by-play. What do you see? Without doxing.
Say that again.
Said, what do you see on the road?
Here we go.
Should we play Punch Buggy?
No, I spy with my little eye. Go ahead.
We're in the middle of Pennsylvania. It's just a flat road and there's cars.
Yep, that sounds like Pennsylvania.
Oh, any horses and buggies?
No horses and buggies so far.
Okay. Let us know if you find any.
Steve, what are you doing?
Going to my mother-in-law's house for her 96th birthday.
My 111th
Oh.
birthday. Oh my God.
I want those jeans, man.
That is amazing.
Where is it? She's walking around. She's still working. She's working.
That's incredible. That's wonderful.
That's nuts.
I would sign up for 96 right now.
Oh, me too.
I would take that contract.
I wish that
Absolutely.
I wish I just knew how many years I had so I didn't have to worry all the time. You know what I mean? It would just be nice to like not think about it. Okay, I'm going to die when I'm 92. Whatever. Then you can just let it all go and then live your life.
Yeah,
I mean, yes.
What if the
she
answer is
picked a
62?
hand
Yeah, right. If it's a good
Yeah.
answer, that's right. I'm like, ah.
Steve, at
So-
96, how how's her memory? How is her cognitive ability?
It's really good.
That's fantastic.
You know, she's obviously not as sharp as she was 20 years ago, but she's, for 96, she's very sharp.
That's awesome. That's encouraging. I mean, think about it. Imagine you're still
Yeah.
kicking ass at 96.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
How old is her sister?
Auntie Muriel is 94.
Yeah, her
107.
sister's 94.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Her sister's husband died a couple years ago. He was 100.
Oh, my God. Joss is going to live forever, dude.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, good genes.
Good genes. Well, reason enough to celebrate, reason enough to be driving on a Friday to go see her and celebrate with her. That's awesome.
If I had the ability, I would have gone down to celebrate that birthday. That would have been fun. So I haven't seen my wife in 2 weeks, and she comes home tomorrow for 3 days. And I'm very excited.
Yeah, I would be too.
When is she coming back?
She's coming back tomorrow for 3 days. Then she's gone for another week.
Oh,
and a
just for
half.
3 days?
I
So the
started to go a
content
little.
visit?
I was going a little batshit crazy the past 2 weeks because I have not had a lot of interaction with adults, and I haven't had a lot of interaction with anybody. On average, my average time here is I'm alone, and I don't like it.
You can always call me, Jay.
I call you up.
You do. You call me up and you say like things that made us laugh 38 years ago, and we still laugh about it.
What? Oh, Christ.
And
What's up?
Roblox.
What?
Guess what?
What?
I want to show you.
I can't. I'm talking to people here, babe. I'm doing my
Dad, I
thing.
need to show you.
You're gonna have to wait till I'm done, honey.
No, Dad.
puppy time.
Lando.
You're not letting me in.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
honey. I'm sorry. Ask
Sounds
Dylan
like-
to help you.
He's playing his game.
All right, come here. Sit down.
Sounds like a password
I'll
issue.
get
Jay,
it.
where's that girl's mother?
So there's a sample of what Jay's been talking about for the last 2 weeks. No adult sort of interaction. It's been this
Right.
constant,
I don't remember needing my parents as much as my kids need to talk to me. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
It was a different relationship.
Dad, he's not 10. He's
You know, like we're much more
Okay, I'll get him. Go on.
involved, friends with our kids.
Dad, get him.
Outside of like dedicated family activities, we didn't really interact with our parents the same way we did with our kids.
Yeah, I think that's right. That was my experience growing up. I was not. We were 3 kids in our family growing up. You were 5, but at the same time, I didn't do social things with my sisters for the most part, other than coexist with them. I had my other friends outside the house and stuff, and they were my, source of communication, entertainment, and that kind of thing. And the parents were doing the parent thing, and the kids were doing the kid things. So yeah, it was a little more. I don't know. Can you say clearly defined in that way? Stratified.
Mhm.
But yeah, I have a different. Yeah, the relationship that I have with my one daughter, Rachel, it was certainly there was more interaction certainly between myself and Rachel in our relationship than there was with me and my parents growing up. A lot more. I mean, by it was a highly measurable amount. Totally different.
Yeah, it's funny how those types of relationships change as the generations go by. Like every kind of relationship changes somehow with society, and like it's not like it's being done deliberately. It just happens on its own.
Yeah, something organic about it. Sure.
I mean, when I was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, like I just remembered spending an awful lot of time hanging out with my brothers, being outside. And if we were doing stuff inside, we were doing stuff together usually. kung
Mhm.
fu. We were heavily into kung fu back then. We were
Yeah.
playing video games. Like when the video games first came out, we'd be having like competitions.
Yeah, that's
know?
part of the difference.
It was it was remarkable how little parental supervision we had day to day.
Remarkable.
We
Yeah,
did
you're right,
all
Steve.
kinds of crazy shit.
Oh, I would disappear on a Saturday morning. I'd be out of the house at 8 a.m. My parents would see me 6, 7, they'd have no clue where the heck I was all day.
Right.
And that was normal. That was standard.
Inconceivable now.
Yeah, it's true. I remember going on expeditions with my friends, like even before we had BMX bikes. Like I remember one day, one of my friends and I followed the brook behind his house miles to where it came out into a lake. And I was covered head to toe in mud. Like where the hell were my parents?
Nope.
How was I allowed
Nope.
to like literally cross into another town and do stuff like that?
Yeah,
How
we
about
would go out. We would do whatever we wanted. We would come back either for dinner
Mm-hmm.
or when we had an injury.
Yeah, of course.
Or
makes total sense.
Maybe needing food.
Well, we would do, when you said crazy things, we did some crazy and stupid things, frankly, looking back on it. For example, I lived not far from a lake in town, a public lake where there was a beach associated with it, but, it was closed in the winter. But it would freeze, for the most part, in the winter. Guess what? We're out on that ice, just kind of tooling around. Not smart. We could have gotten in a ton of trouble. But those were the kinds of quote-unquote adventures that we would go on, and not thinking of the consequences, or like maybe we should test this thoroughly, or make sure, or just decide to do something else less risky. Out on the lake, skating around, doing whatever. So no supervision. Would be dead. I'd be dead if I fell through that ice. So I lucked out.
We dodged a lot of bullets. I remember a lot of close calls.
Yep.
Oh,
Gasoline.
Yeah, there were there was combustibles back in the day. Yes, there were. Oh boy. Oh well. On to less incriminating things.
So did Jay dead or what?
Jay had to go deal with family issues. So what was one of the things that we were going to talk about? I think Jay wanted to be part of
his children.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope. Definitely not. We did get a couple questions at the top of the show.
Okay.
What show your kids used to watch that you hated? Speaking of children.
None, because I carefully steered them away from shows that I hated. And seriously, they never ever watched Barney.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Did not know it existed.
No Barney infestation in the house.
So
we were at a SpongeBob house.
What were your favorite kid shows that you watched with the kids? SpongeBob was one for sure. Powerpuff Girls was fun. I was able to semi enjoy that.
Rachel liked Lazy Town as a
that's
young
bizarre.
girl growing up. That was fun in a way. It was funny. It had often these shows will have a bit of adult humor in a sense to them, a layer in which an adult can appreciate it, because kids will watch, with their parents will watch what their kids also watch. So some of them design it that way. Oh, and when she was a little older, Phineas and Ferb on the Disney Channel was like a great show, and I loved that show. That I became a kind of a fan.
My favorite one is the haunted house, Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, they had excellent episodes. Dan Povenmire and Jeff Swampy Marsh were the two designers and creators of that. I actually had a conversation with them. I tried like mad to get them onto the SGU, because they're pro science kind of guys in my talking with them. And they said, we'd love to be on the show. You have to go through Disney, though, because they're contracted with Disney. And going through that red tape was ridiculous. I finally struck up with a relationship with someone in the right department at Disney to promote to try to get them on our show, and it was like 18 months of going back and forth on emails with them. I gave up the ghost after a while because it just became too difficult. For as much as they wanted to come on the show, because they said they did, that that they would like to talk about how science and kids cartoons and trying to educate through humor and all that would be part of it. They're under contract and they can't just make an appearance. They were locked down by the mouse. So I tried.
That's too bad.
Who was it?
This was Dan Povenmire and Jeff Marsh, who are the two creators of the cartoon Phineas and Ferb, which is property of the Disney Channel.
Mm-hmm.
But they were under contract. This was back in like 2010, 11. Is about when I spent the years trying to get them on the show. I contacted Dan directly. I was able to make communication with him. We spoke back and forth. He said he wanted to be on the show, but Disney wouldn't. You have to go through Disney. You have to get Disney permission to do it. And so I tried that channel, and it was futile. So after a couple of years of trying, I had to let it go.
He does a lot of stuff on TikTok. Funny enough, Dan Povenmire.
Povenmire?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, if he's watching now, hey Dan, we love everything you do.
Jimmy Neutron and the Fairly Odd Parents were pretty okay.
Yeah. Fairly Odd Parents is fun, especially the Halloween episode. See the theme there?
Mm-hmm.
It really was fun.
Bob, did you show everyone your thing that you bought?
My thing, no. Should I do it now, I assume?
Well, why not?
Halloween's a perfect template because it really can go on anything or be incorporated into anything else. It is that covering that, there's no wrong thing.
I'm creating a PVC skeleton to create a female zombie, and I got a decent mask for it.
A zombie that identifies as female? Cool.
Pretty good. It's a decent mask. The best thing about it, though, is the long chest, if you will. So I'll do a quick little, oh boy, zombie boobs.
Oh, NSFW, right?
Yeah, something.
There.
Something.
You know what? This
Not
is going to be
for Halloween.
Yeah.
She's got amazing hair for a zombie.
Yeah, the hair's.
Oh, that's human hair, by the way. Yeah, they took it.
Oh,
But I like.
well,
It's human nose hair, though.
Got to get in there deeper. Oh gosh, what else is going on?
So, Ev, you were talking about how Google stock dropped by $1 billion because of a bad demonstration of their AI.
Wasn't that earlier this week? What is it called?
Yeah.
Bard, B-A-R-D.
Their
Bard.
version of Chat GPT called Bard, and it got one question factually wrong. The answer was factually wrong, and their stock tanked the next day. What, like 8-9%, $1 billion? I mean,
which is crazy. And we're talking about the Alphabet stock, right? Which is the parent company that owns all of these various things. This one thing with this one AI thing caused the whole value. It's ridiculous. I imagine it's bounced back. I haven't checked.
Yeah, it's going to be
That's a
bounced back.
reactionary.
It can't be a permanent loss of $1 billion.
No way, not a chance. So that was actually a buy if you were able to get in low on that. For investors out there, if you should have grabbed a little stock on that day, if you could have. That's ridiculous. Total overreaction. But
it goes to show, man. That's how it goes to show you what GPT. How it grabbed everyone's attention so much the past 6-7 months, and one little silly flub that really didn't matter to much at this point, and they lost it temporarily, at least 9% of the stock. That was funny.
It's not
And
true.
now Bing is using ChatGPT as its engine.
That's right. Yeah, because it's
I
all
don't know why
Microsoft.
I don't like Bing so much.
You may like it in the near future.
Yeah.
It's using
we'll
it right
see.
now, or they're incorporating it soon.
Oh, I think now, isn't it? I thought it was.
I don't know if it's active, but they definitely have it.
I wonder what Ask Jeeves is using. Let's find out.
How about no? Go to Metacrawler.
Metacrawler.
Metacrawler, yeah.
That
Oh,
was
gosh.
my search engine
Their
for a
dog
while
pile.
because I looked at it. It aggregated from all the major web search engines at the time, and everyone was going
I
to
guess.
Google, and eventually I went to Google as well.
The internet in the 90s was something else. Oh my gosh.
Can anybody compete with Google at this point? As it is
It'd
today?
have to be a big,
I mean,
be a big change.
Google does a lot of things.
The nature of it.
For pure search engine, it depends what you're talking about. I mean, I'd say probably not, but a lot of people say that Google search is not what it used to be. It used to be better. You know, if you go, there's too much like SEO, search engine optimization bullshit and ads. You gotta wade through before you can get to the meat. People are very, very frustrated. They say, "Oh, Google was better 10 years ago."
Wow.
But we'll see what shakes out because I don't know how it's going to survive as is this whole, GPT scenario that's happening because it's anathema to advertising revenue in a lot of ways, and they're just basically printing money with the ads, with their ad money. And if your search engine has to minimize that by a huge degree, I'm sure they're shitting a brick right now. But they've got a lot of options. They've got a lot of possibilities, and so they're not out of it yet by a large margin. But they could totally drop the ball potentially. Who knows? It's just so up in the air what's going to happen. But it's not a boring time.
Yeah. Some people are also chatting and mentioning DuckDuckGo. That is something I've used before as well on my smartphone. So that one's okay. DuckDuckGo is fine. But I don't know that I've had a problem using Google as my primary search engine. Like, really I ran into a total roadblock. I couldn't find any kind of either solution or come close to what I was looking for by using Google. I don't know that I've ever had that problem.
Yeah, I mean, I have
The biggest thing is you got to wade through all the ads.
It's the ads. That's what it is.
Yeah, but that's just the top of the results. It's not that big of a deal to
Nah.
scroll past it.
I've kind of blocked it out in a sense.
But I mean, it's
Well, I
pretty.
hate when I forget and I'm reading the top choice. And I'm like, oh shit,
Ad.
this is an ad,
It still gets you. The power. They know what works.
But imagine, like people are saying, like Google, the search engine was better a decade ago. Like to me, that's a very surfacey comment because Google's search technology has had to have profoundly improved in the past decade.
How many more websites and pages are there in those 10 years? What?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just that, but
1,000 million times more than there used to be. Crazy.
You think about how much their technology has improved in 10 years. That's an eternity in software years. You know what I mean? It's like so much has changed since then. They don't like the way that Google is presenting their ads, and it's their business practice that they're really commenting on, not the actual functionality of the browser itself. Well, I completely welcome the AI
Overlords.
startup wars. It's going to be great to see all these companies throw, trillions of dollars are going to get thrown around. Lots of cool technology is going to result. There's going to be a lot of competition, a lot of Silicon Valley big balls being put on the desk. You know what I mean? Like, let's, we're going to, be the first company to do this with AI or that with AI. So it'll be cool. We're going to see a lot of really interesting stuff. And I agree with Steve. Like, I'm
definitely
very much looking forward to having a AI personal assistant. That'll be amazing.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. And you've got an entity scouring the web that knows you better than you know yourself, that you could communicate with verbally, that will just scour the web looking for stuff that it knows you're going to just love. I mean, have you thought about that? Like like I know that there's stuff out there, for just products and websites and topics that I would just love so much, but there's so much you can't. There's no way. I mean, imagine getting fed the cream of the crop of your interests, daily. But it goes so far beyond that. Just getting things done, like booking a trip and things like that. That it would be your interface, and I don't know. And also, don't forget, we can't predict. There's no way we can predict how society and these AI assistants and large language models, how they're going to interact and evolve. And who knows what people are going to be doing with that stuff in 10, 15, 20 years in ways that we cannot even come close to predicting.
True.
I think having a personal assistant will, it'll free us up. It'll free work hours, right? It'll free us up from doing mundane tasks. I do a lot of airline booking as an example, and there's a lot of time spent juggling all of that nonsense. If an AI can handle that for me, and basically be my surrogate and talk to the airline's AI to make things happen, that would be fantastic. But it all depends on what your job is and how you would use your personal assistant. I would like something to very intelligently remind me of things that are happening in my calendar. I just don't get alerts in a good way on my phone and whatever. I feel like it's very easy for me to miss things that are in my calendar. So I'd like an AI to be able to talk to me and tell me, hey,
you would like
coming up.
a pleasant voice say, excuse me, Jay, I wanted to give you a reminder that in 20 minutes you have this appointment.
Yes, thank you. That's what I want.
And that's how you would respond to the AI.
Yeah, and I want him to say,
yes,
sir, and make me feel good about myself. You
want it to have this HAL 9000 kind of relationship, right? Without the death and the killing. But I get what you're saying.
Bob's AI will sound like Satan.
How may I serve you, Overlord?
Oh, my master.
Who are we sacrificing today? Bob's smiling because he's true.
I think I'd have different voices depending on what they're doing for me.
Of course. Right?
The Halloween search AI could have a scary voice for sure. That'd be fun.
That would be half your searches.
If you could have your AI assistant have any voice, like it could be of any person, what would it be?
Oh, like a famous voice? Oh, James Earl Jones, maybe. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, Darth Vader would be fun. I mean, you'd get sick of it after time.
Every nerd's going to have that now.
Yeah. What are you calling me?
I mean, I always wanted
to walk in.
Yeah, he would be great.
It's time for your next appointment.
Yeah. Or having it be Samuel Jackson, he's yelling at you if you're almost late for something. That would be fun.
Yeah.
I love an English butler.
Yes,
the accent and all. Yeah.
Somebody in the chat said the Star Trek computer. That would be cool.
Very good stuff.
Let's see if people are.
Oh, Magil Barrett's voice. Yeah, we could do that. We could do
Working.
Barrett. Yeah. The M9, the M5, M5.
Yeah. Oh my God, I would get sick of that in a second.
Wheatley from Portal 2 would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would imagine that pop culture would affect the voices that people pick for their AI, right? You could go to, imagine you see a cool TV show or a movie and you're like, you want your AI to sound like a character that you just saw, I bet you
Kit
stuff
from
like
Knight
that
Rider. Yeah.
Yeah.
Evan, you have to make the right hand turn coming up.
Yeah, Spock would actually be a cool.
Spock would be good. Yeah, Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, definitely.
Could do that. Oh, there's tons of. I mean, but
Speaking of Nimoy,
what do you got?
I found. Are you familiar with Asimov's short story, The Last Question?
No.
Oh wow, man. I found that story read by Leonard Nimoy, and I sent you the link to it, Jay. And
When? Right now?
You never know. Like days ago, you never look at my links anymore.
Yeah, I do. I look at him. I can't like explore. I'm not gonna. Bob
Take
sends
that
me a
comment
link
out of
to an
context.
audio book, and he expects me to like sit there and do it. I've got kids, man. I can't.
Short story. I think,
Anytime.
yeah, but you didn't even recognize the
Man,
name.
I got 5 mouths to feed.
I know.
I thought you said 3.
Oh gosh.
I'm seriously not gonna know what to do with myself when my kids are grown up. I'm gonna have so much free time. I'm gonna like get anxious just thinking about what I should do with that time.
Yeah, you think so. You'll fill it. You will fill
Like
it.
a hard drive. The more space you have, the more you fill it.
That's true. Yeah, I guess if it's not a
Same.
sudden change, I won't notice it.
The same with bandwidth.
Yeah.
Oh, it's sudden, Jay. They go off to college.
All right. Well, we'll see. I'll report back when it happens.
Yeah.
So something cool happened. I think I told you guys this, right? I told you that I'm getting fiber optic on my street.
You did mention that the other night when we were
Wheels are
recording.
turning. I
Fiber
mean,
optic
you're getting
lights or what?
They put the fiber optic cable on my street.
Oh, okay.
They dug up
But
my
it-
front yard to
Oh,
bury the
oh.
whole thing. So it's coming very soon. I mean, I'm sure there's some work left to be done. And we're only 20 years behind France,
Yeah.
right? Isn't that pathetic?
Behind Seychelles. at
Well,
this
I
rate,
mean, to be fair, it's a lot smaller than our country.
Yeah, but so what? What does that mean? It's smaller. It has less people, and we have more people. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't mean anything. It's still the fact
Does it
that
have less people?
what's that?
Fewer,
Here we go.
fewer,
And
less
it's throwdown. Fewer versus lesser.
There we go.
lesser people. It is lesser people. Easy now. Whoa.
Steve actually complimented me for saying something correct yesterday, right?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's
Was
an
it the
insult,
first?
you do
Yeah,
know
right.
that's an
Yeah.
insult.
Oh, man.
Got to use the carrot and the stick.
That's right.
Funny.
What are you guys doing this weekend?
Well, I'm visiting my mother-in-law for her 96th birthday.
That's true. We knew that.
Wow. Oh yeah, that's old news. What am I doing this weekend? I'm working. That's it. Tax season for me, so my weekends are done for the most part. The Super Bowl's on this weekend. I'll probably watch the Super
Is
Bowl.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And like,
Right.
I don't know if I'm going to watch it. It's a big commitment.
I mean, I may have it like on in the background while I'm doing my kind of work and glance up if something exciting happens, that kind of thing. Really watch.
You're
I'm
gonna make
not a-
countertop nachos where you just put the beans all over the countertop, like the. Have you guys seen those videos? Or you're not
Yeah, I've seen that.
way online like I am? Yeah. Maybe Evan, by your facial reaction, it seems like I don't have a video to show you, but it's people who make giant nachos out of their like whole countertop and like spread it all around, and it's disgusting. And I don't know why.
Why would they put it on their countertop and not have it be on plates? I don't get it.
I don't know. For the meme of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's,
And that gets views, huh?
100%. And it's like there'll be like 20-minute long videos and just
About
So-
nachos.
about nachos.
So when is the SGU doing
terrible.
this?
I know,
We
we should do-
incorporate
Well,
the Skeptic's Guide to
we
Nachos.
promote our upcoming live stream. It's
Yeah.
going to happen in I don't know.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
Counter
wait.
nachos, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. Counter meatballs. You could just have a counter full of meatballs.
I don't
That's it.
know. I still wouldn't want to just eat my dinner off of a countertop. Like, what do you stand there across from people and like, I don't know.
At a party?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's sad that like people find this interesting on any level,
Yeah, it's just like a waste of food.
Talk about people trying to fill their time.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys have any hobbies that you're not pursuing because you don't have the time for it?
Yeah,
Like what?
sure.
Yeah,
Non-Halloween related stuff, Bob?
I mean,
Yeah, like
a
making
couple of role-playing games that are languishing.
making my ultimate robot costume.
Yeah. Well, that is kind of Halloween related.
Well, it's cosplay. It's not creepy.
How about you, Ev?
Sorry, I was distracted. The question was about
Is there any hobby you're not pursuing because you don't have the time?
all of them.
Mm.
Hobby I'm not pursuing. Yeah, I was gonna be learning to play the piano. That's for real, and have not. I've played around a little bit, but not to the you're supposed to practice every day. You're supposed to learn every day, and that kind of thing. So that's not happening right now.
Yeah.
And what's the other thing that's not happening? I'm not getting enough exercise. I want to get back on a regular exercise routine. I was feeling better when I was going to the studio for for martial arts 3 or 4 days a week every week.
Yeah.
In those 7 years that I was actively doing Krav Maga, and felt great. And then obviously it tailed off, and because I had a little injury I had to deal with, so I had to step away for a while and couldn't fully get back to it. But I want to see myself getting back to that kind of routine. I'm going to be hopefully working on that this year.
Yeah, I just started exercising again. COVID really changed a lot in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it stripped out a lot of stuff.
That was part of it too, and just the fact that I'm getting older. The realities of approaching mid-50s. It's just not the same when when I was in late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, for sure, man.
In those routines, so it's just not the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to learn how to play the piano. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time.
Yeah, me as well. So,
I mean, I would love to really have the time to play a video game. Because right now, it takes me 6 months to play a video game. Because of how little free time I have. And honestly, I don't watch all the TV shows. I'm watching most of what I watch is for Alpha Quadrant 6.
Yeah. Right. Your show, you have to watch a certain amount of that. I'm woefully behind on TV shows. How's this? Battlestar Galactica re-release, episode 1.
Yep.
Season 1, episode 1, opening credits, no spoilers. That's where I am. Okay. That gives you an indication about how far behind on my
the miniseries or the actual episode 1.
Well, I don't know when was the Battlestar Galactica remakes in the mid-2000s?
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
20 years old right now.
I just started rewatching it too. Actually, the miniseries. It just gets funny. Season 1, episode 1 starts with last time on Battlestar. I was like, what?
See? No spoilers.
It was a miniseries. Yeah.
Evan, the Cylons have a plan.
Should I be hearing this, or is this going to ruin the...
No, they say that every episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the tagline.
Yeah.
Gotcha. See? Had I seen one episode, I would know that.
Ed, you have a Jeopardy?
Yeah, I do.
Should we play it?
I absolutely do.
Yeah, let's do that.
Whenever you want to get to that, Ian.
Yeah, let's. All right, everybody, stand by for Jeopardy. Here we go.
Jeopardy. All right.
Maybe we'll beat Steve now that he's latent.
And what we have here is, as I will explain again, each week on my other podcast that I co-host, Which Game First, a board game podcast. On Monday nights, we play a game live online, and it's our first time playing that game because there's lots of board games that are online actually right now. We took it up during the COVID years, and we kind of made a habit out of it, kind of like what we're doing here on our Fridays with SGU. And part of the interaction we do with the audience is we not only play the board game, but we also do some trivia. So I organized the trivia that we do into a Jeopardy style, and it's usually thematic to the particular game that we're playing. The name of that board game we played was called Gizmos, so that's why the first category is called Gizmos. And then I came up with the other categories: parts, elements, and fiddle faddle, which is random anything. We drew lots backstage before we went on the air tonight, and Ian, you were the winner, and you get to choose the first category.
What? Let's go Gizmos. I was going to say 200.
Gizmo was the name of the main character in this film.
Oh my God.
I can't think of it. Gremlins.
Gremlins.
That's right.
Good
Yeah.
job. That was one I could
On
not.
the tip of my tongue, and I
Yeah,
was
that
like,
was.
Bob. Now, Bob, didn't you recently comment about Gremlins? You watched it
Yeah.
recently?
Yep, it's I'm pathetic.
When the pressure's on.
Oh yeah, man.
All right,
All right.
Ian, you control this board.
400. Let's go. Gizmos.
The definition of gizmo is a single
Gadget.
word.
Gadget.
Ian,
Hey,
Give it to Steve because he's got latency. Let's
Oh,
give
you're gonna give it to Steve for
Yeah, that's
latency?
fine. For
Yeah,
latency.
we did. I didn't know Steve was actually gonna be in the car today, so I am giving him a
come
latency.
That's fine.
I should have stolen
Bye.
it.
or
The
pass.
handicap.
It was
on
pretty
this one.
close.
All right, Steve, control the
600.
board. You guys are easy. The first one was available in 2007, and the latest version was released in
iPhone?
2022.
iPhone.
Ian, correct with the iPhone.
Was it early 2007? I guess so. Yeah.
I thought it was 2005.
Yeah. I think
No,
it was earlier than that.
7.
Maybe not.
Hmm.
Wow. Still the same.
Next.
800.
In 1920, the Victor Talking Machine
Ooh.
Company introduced this gizmo.
Phone answering, phone answering.
Phonograph.
Can you be more specific?
Controller.
Phonographic record
Who
player.
said it? Bob? Did you say it?
Yep.
You said Victrola? Bob got it.
Oh,
Yes. Sorry, Steve. I needed to be a little more specific on that one. Bob, you control.
all
this
right, no
board.
worries.
1,000.
In 1900, you could buy one for $1, and it is credited with making photography accessible to the masses.
Polaroid.
Not Polaroid.
Rolleiflex.
Oh,
What
yeah,
is that
Bill
other
Smith,
one?
you got it right.
Rolleiflex.
Grimbeard got it right. Bill got it right. Bill Goggin.
I don't know it.
Anyone?
I see
The
people saying it.
Kodak Brownie.
Oh, wow, I never
Marsh
heard
got it right. Lots of everyone in the
Never
audience,
heard
give
of that.
yourself bonus points there. The Kodak
Oh, I
Brownie.
never heard of that.
Imagine
Yeah.
that for $1. Back, I mean, which was still,
For
not
$1.
insignificant money, but basically they put it in the hands of kids and families everywhere, and that was it. Exploded.
So what the hell was it?
If you look online, it's you can tell it's like a box, sort of cube-shaped camera with a fixed focal lens and a little, lever on the side that you would take the photograph with, stuff the film in. The Kodak sold the camera cheap, but it was in the film. That's where they made their profit by selling the film.
Smart.
He's a lost leader.
Yeah. Okay, Ian, you're still in control.
No,
no,
Bob
Bob.
was in
Sorry, Bob.
control, yeah.
Bob's in control.
Okay, let's do parts for 200.
If you want one of these, you need headshot. You need headshot photography and a good booking agent.
Modeling career.
Acting.
No.
job?
Remember the category.
Oh, what was it? Oh, parts.
A role in the
Acting?
film.
Role?
Yes, Who said acting?
I said acting. Acting
Yeah.
part. That's interesting. Here's the brownie, by the way. Kodak brownie.
Oh, very cool, Ian. Thank you. Check
Pretty
that thing
cool.
out.
Pretty neat.
That's cool.
See why it was called the brownie too. Okay, Ian, you're bored.
Let's jump to Fiddle Faddle.
Oh, for how much?
200.
This purple
Barney.
dinosaur.
Barney, damn it.
Barney.
Jay. Steve, and I put that in specifically for you.
Thank you.
Too bad your kids aren't watching.
Jay got
You
it first,
can't-
though.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
No, we
just-
didn't.
Right on it.
No, I thought Ian.
Yeah, Bob.
No, I gave it to Jay.
Wait, did
Jay
Bob
got
say
that.
it? I didn't hear Bob.
That's fine, but he didn't get it first.
No,
Oh.
I heard Jay first.
I
You want
heard
me to
Jay
take it away
first,
from
yeah.
Jay? I can do that.
No,
Give
it's
it-
fine.
I don't care. Look, Ev, if he's being a whiny baby about it, give it to him. I mean,
Okay.
You know, it could be because of the speed of light and stuff, but I heard me say it, then I heard you say it. So that's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We have rules in this game. We will play by these rules. Bob,
I
it's your board.
defer to Evan, who's running the game, but okay.
Bob,
That's true.
Yep, I'm giving it to Bob. Bob, you control.
400.
It's not really a fish, and you wouldn't want to spread it on a piece of bread.
Gefilte fish.
Gefilte fish?
Gefilte fish.
Gefilte fish.
Those are good answers, but not correct.
Gefilte fish.
Jellyfish.
Steve's correct.
Wow,
Jelly or
good.
jellyfish. Gefilte fish. Yeah, that's just wrong. That's the kind of food you understand why they would eat it like 1,000 years ago,
Yeah, like
when
that-
everything
eat
else
it-
was basically garbage level food, and that was a delicacy. Okay, so it's
But
all
gefilte
context.
fish is fish, isn't it?
No, it is. Yeah, it's
Whitefish?
whitefish.
Yeah, I was
It's
like-
actually a whitefish.
Gefilte fish is, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
All right,
elements
Steve.
200.
Ooh, here we
Wow.
go.
Okay.
It is the quantity of
Atomic
protons in an atom, Bob.
Yeah, that was good.
The atomic number.
Very
Well done.
important
Your
number. 400.
elements 400.
Mm-hmm.
Atomic number 19.
Potassium.
Symbol K.
Potassium.
Potassium.
Ian. Wow.
Ian got it.
Sorry. I gave it to-
Good job, Ian.
Yeah, Ian jumped all over that one.
I didn't even read it. I just saw the K. I just guessed. I was like,
I had to look up why it was K. The letter K
Oh.
is like it's
Why is it?
weird. Because the name that it derives from eventually began with K, and it like went through
Yeah.
3 languages to get to that point.
Interesting.
So
we'll go 600 for elements.
the observation of a solar eclipse in 1868
Helium.
led to the
Hydrogen.
discovery,
Wow.
Steve, of this element called helium. Well done.
Wow.
Solar eclipse next year.
Somebody
Stay
said it's
tuned for
Callium.
that.
Callium was originally the name for
Was it?
800.
Anyway, 800.
By atomic weight, it's the heaviest natural gas.
Oxygen?
Argon?
Yeah,
No,
that's what
and
I
no.
thought. No, it's not argon.
No, I thought it was argon too. Let's see. We got
Xenon?
JSL. No, not xenon.
Well,
we have
I
a
can't
correct
guess
answer
anymore,
though.
can I?
JSL 151850 B is correct. New Zealand is correct.
Oh, radon.
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 Yeah.
Radon.
Hmm.
Know that.
I know. I didn't know that either. All right, Steve.
1,000.
It was the first synthetic element created.
I have no
Element number 43,
Wow.
which I also had no clue.
Yeah, that's a tough question, man.
That's a very.
Um,
This is the hardest question on the board.
Is it unobtainium?
Silicone.
Plastinium.
Oh, New Zealand. You must be a chemist. I mean, you know your atomic.
Einsteinium?
Wow,
I-
look at this
Hey,
word.
look,
I've never even
I
seen
know
it.
this
Never
because
even
it's
heard
a
of it.
technical one. It's used in equipment.
Oh, Steve, you
You're
had
very
the first.
close.
You had the
it's-
first part technetium.
Technetium.
Yes. I'll give it to you, Steve. No, it helped you a little bit.
All
But
right.
yeah, or I read it as technetium. So I'm like, wow, it saw into the future, like tech and net. Like
Yeah, that's how I pronounce it. too.
Technetium.
Technetium.
All right, we're done with the elements. We're down to parts and fiddle
Parts for
faddle.
400.
Moses
The
allegedly.
Red Sea.
The Dead Sea. Red Sea.
I gave it to Ian. I heard Ian
Yeah.
first.
It's really the Reed Sea, though, but whatever.
Read see.
I pronounce red reed now. Ian, yours.
Ancient memory.
Let's go 600.
The action or state of dividing or being divided.
Parting.
It's a tweet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gave you
Partition.
the partition. That was my slip up. But yes, you're on the right track.
That's all right. Close enough.
What do you got, Steve?
800.
One of the most famous and most used phrases. Still
Parting is
spoken
such sweet sorrow.
No, Ian. Still spoken frequently by people making their marriage vows.
Yeah.
Till death do us part.
Yeah. There you go, Steve. Till death do us part.
He said till, not until.
Oh, until.
Your
Yeah,
Honor.
he did say. Yeah. But we're going to check with
Actually,
the judge.
Bob
He
said it
gets
first. I don't know. I mean,
Oh, did Bob say it first?
All right.
Give
it to Bob.
No, I didn't.
He
Oh,
did
wait.
say
You're killing me.
it. Till.
Jay said it first. Give it to Jay.
Give it to
All right,
Jay.
1,000.
Title of a 1985 number one
Part-Time
hit
Lover.
song performed by Stevie Wonder. Ian, yes.
Yeah.
good job,
Wow.
Ian.
And this one stumped the board game watching crowd. They had no clue.
What a bunch
what
of
the song
nerds.
was. Can you believe? I'm so old. All right.
600.
The world's largest living
Canyon?
tree can be found in this
Oh, wow.
U.S. state.
Washington.
Incorrect.
California?
California.
Nice.
That was a guess.
Nice.
Redwoods. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
redwoods.
you know, like,
Yeah, you got to think redwoods.
Yeah, I knew it was Pacific Northwest.
800, Ian.
Yeah, 800. Thank you.
The last part of the title of this famous book is The Modern Prometheus. Oh, come on, guys. I know. When you see the answer, you're going to be like, damn.
I don't know.
Bill Smith,
This is
correct.
too high level for me.
Grimbeard, correct. New Zealand,
It looks
correct.
so damn familiar. God damn it.
Oh man.
Wow. I didn't even know that. Having looked at
JSL.
chat
Rick
now.
Wyatt.
Shit.
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Yep. All right. Last one for all the marbles. This one's worth 1,000,000 points. Everyone.
Whoa.
The lowering of body temperature due to the passing flow
Convection?
of lower temperature air, not convection.
Oh. Passing flow of a lower temperature.
The lowering of body temperature
Evaporation?
due to the passing flow of lower temperature air, not evaporation.
Lower temperature air.
The lowering of body temperature.
Lower body temperature. Right.
Oh, Nanoburger is correct.
Hypothermia.
Not hypothermia. Fred Bremer, hello, Fred, is
Hypoxia?
correct.
I don't know.
Thanks for staying with us for 18 years, Fred. You're awesome.
Wait, are you talking about when you sweat?
No,
Oh.
The lowering of body temperature due to the passing flow of.
we'll leave it. Philip Palmer, correct.
I mean, like cooling or something, or like.
Yes, in effect. Or yes, it is
Convection?
the
Oh,
definition
wind
of wind
chill.
chill.
Wind chill.
Oh,
That is
Oh,
how
that's
wind chill is
interesting.
defined.
Jesus. Nice.
Isn't
That
wind
was
chill
so
caused by
obvious now that you
evaporation,
see
though?
it.
It's like, well,
Yes, I know. It's when you look up the definition of some of these things, it's like it doesn't equate. You know, your brain doesn't immediately kind of put
Yeah.
it together.
I
So
would've never,
it's interesting. Fred Bremer for the win, indeed.
Good job.
Everybody gets a bunch of points for this one.
Good job, Steve, even in the car.
But Steve still maintained his lead with 5,800 fantasy points, and he's this week's winner. Congratulations, Steve! Even while being a passenger in a moving vehicle, you still managed to win Jeopardy.
Thank you. Thank you.
How does he do it?
He's multi-talented, I tells you. All right, Ian.
Hold on,
I'm going to
toggle
stop
this off.
sharing my screen.
Yeah, here we go.
Well, I was
All right,
sucking
go back
wind
down
on that
there.
one, boy.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Barney one, you know, you could have
Well,
got
you know.
50 points.
Yeah,
He was
good for a
close.
Barney answer, right?
You did get everyone blurted out Barney.
Yeah, at the same time, probably.
I don't think humanity will ever forget freaking Barney. You know what I mean?
No.
Wait, it's become such a what?
It's been
I
off
mean,
the air for
iconic
how
in
long?
a not a negative way, but a annoying way. I don't really know how to define it.
Infamous.
It was one of
Culturally
the worst.
Insipid.
It was one of the
Insipid,
worst
maybe?
pieces of TV programming of all time. That's how bad it was.
How long ago do you think it ended?
It's got to be 30 years ago.
Oh no! I think
30.
they were probably
Jesus.
ran.
No.
Oh, they probably ran with that show a long time. Wasn't it very popular?
It was very
Oh,
popular.
it ended probably like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I'd say 10
Yep.
years ago, probably.
Yeah, it ended 2010.
There you go.
Wow. That long.
There we go. It was right in there.
So it ran for 18 years.
Wow.
And you can now stream all 18 seasons on Netflix and binge watch Barney for those of
Binge
you
watch,
who
oh
have
my God.
missed a bunch
Yeah,
of
you
the
need whole
episodes,
background. You need to watch it from the
including
beginning.
What Happened to My Dolly and 2 + 2 is Huh? Those are my favorite episodes.
Huh?
The things I make up.
So, Evan, I'm learning a new game system.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, Nintendo, Wii. What do we got?
No, I'm learning the Call of Cthulhu game. Tabletop game.
Rolling. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I'm running a Call of Cthulhu game, and I'm using Director's Cut.
Mhm.
I didn't think it was going to stick, but everybody really likes it, so I'm going to lean into it. Yeah, but it's actually a really good game system. I'm looking forward to learning it.
My introduction to Cthulhu was through Dungeons and Dragons because there was controversy, and this was in like 1981 or 2. This was during the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. If you remember, the book called Deities and Demigods came out.
Oh yeah,
And
Yeah.
at the time, it was TSR, right? Who had the rights for D&D, but they never obtained the rights to Cthulhu, which were, I don't know if they're considered open today, but they weren't at the time. And they had to put, and even though like some books got out on the first print, they had to stop and they had to pull back the rest of them and republish without Cthulhu
Those
in
books
there.
might be. I wonder if they're
Yeah, so if you have one of the Deities and Demigods first print with Cthulhu in it, it's considered collector.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm like, huh, what's Cthulhu? And so it made me go for.
I mean, I remember having that book and having the Cthulhu mythos in there, but it just got, I have no idea where my D&D books are now.
I know, gosh, so many things you wish you had. Like, I had those original Star Wars Kenner figures. Like, oh, why didn't I leave them in the packages? Like, I had to break them open. My impulsive 8-year-old brain.
Who would have thought, Ev? We had no idea. I couldn't rip those packages open fast enough,
Yeah, and the idea of toys like that sort of becoming this collector thing instead of the toy itself was getting, in the 70s, kind of took motion, but the Star Wars part of it brought it to sort of really a new level and opened up a whole industry of toy collection at that point. It was fascinating.
Yeah.
To live through it.
Yeah, like stuff right now that's being created right now will eventually become a collector's item and be worth an incredible amount of money, but we just have no idea.
Yeah, it's a function of, time and nostalgia, I suppose. How nostalgic people are for things like that. And rarity. Like the Boba Fett one, is that the original?
Yeah, the one that shot the missile. It's worth a lot.
Yeah, it is the most collected. It's the most valuable Star Wars toy collectible out there. Yeah, it's like $200,000, $250,000 or something for that thing. Right.
I wonder what the most valuable thing I ever owned was.
Good question.
Like at some point in my life, I owned something.
If you still had it.
Yeah.
That you could have. Yeah.
Your virginity.
Probably my youth, to think about it. But.
Well, right. Yeah.
Right.
Your mental faculties.
Yeah. Holding on with incredibly strong hands to that. All right, well, I got to go, guys, because I have 2 hungry kids I got to feed.
Yeah, I know. You're on the 6 o'clock off schedule now.
Yeah, it's going to be at least a couple more weeks.
All right.
Well, have a wonderful weekend. Steve, call me tomorrow if you need help with anything. Remember what we talked about.
Right, yeah, just be available if I have any trouble with the show.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right, Bob, have a wonderful weekend.
Bye, Jay.
Evan,
are we going to take a couple questions?
Don't work too hard.
Yeah, well, I have a bunch of questions.
Jay, you take care of yourself, all right? And don't forget, I'm just, you know my number.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
it.
Right.
Give me the call.
Don't sleep. Play video games. Don't sleep.
Bye.
Watch Barney. Bye.
Yeah, watch
my
Barney.
God.
I love you.
Bye,
you
Jay.
love me.
Don't do that.
The novellas are a happy family.
All right, so we can get into the
right.
questions. Remember, if you want to post us any questions or submit some questions, go to our Discord if you're a patron, and then there's a live stream question channel. Question for the live stream: if I live in a big house and my kids have moved out, would it make sense at night to turn off the central heat and just use a space heater in the one bedroom where I'm sleeping?
As long as the house doesn't get so cold your pipes freeze.
Yeah.
You have to have it at some level.
Yeah, and the space heaters, we're talking about an electric one, right? Not like a kerosene heater or something that requires ventilation, and so there's no gases built.
Yeah.
So be wary of that.
But like you could put the temperature down to 60 degrees in the house.
I guess
Yeah.
the main
Just use
question
an electric blanket.
59 is
it
the
more
number,
efficient?
right?
Yeah.
59 is the go-to number.
The go-to number, 59, right?
I know. A little cold for my liking, but
It's a little chilly. It's all right. Just wear a bunch of blankets. Question for the live: despite your inclination for skepticism, have any of you ever been fooled or almost fooled by a scammer?
ooh, by a scammer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a couple of years ago, this was about 3 years ago, I got a phone call from someone telling me they were from my health insurance company and they needed to verify some information. Now, he had fed back to me some things that sounded to me like this would be like, okay, he's reading numbers off to me that could really only, I think, know by having a computer up and being part of the company that is, managed, is my healthcare. But I can't remember exactly what. Something tipped me off in the conversation before I gave him any vital information. Be like, oh, wait a minute, this is phishing. This guy's trying to get information out of me. He's not helping me.
Yeah.
And I killed the call. I came very close to divulging, delicate information to that person. This happened just 3 years ago to me. That was my most recent occurrence, and that was a scam. Yeah.
I mean, I've come close to hitting links a couple of times because they definitely got my knee-jerk, response that they were looking for. But I so far, I've always stopped myself before doing it.
That's good.
Like, I have a few rules. One really good rule is if someone calls me, I never give them information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a safe rule to live by. Lou asked me, did it feel like a cold read when on my phone call? No, it didn't. It didn't feel that way. Again, he had said a couple of things that he did have that made it seem legitimate. Like, he had the name of the company right, and there was some kind of reference number he referenced that was correct. But I think what had happened is somehow they got into my healthcare system and got data on us. They purged it enough so that it had my phone number on it, my name, and that one piece of information, and he used it. So it was really a hot reading, if you think about it in that way.
So that is one common strategy that they use. So, for example, I got an email that was also phishing, and it fed me a password that I hadn't used in like 10 years.
Wow.
But clearly it got that password from some compromised database somewhere.
Yep. Yeah,
but I recognized that it was old. They're trying to do that. They doesn't matter what piece of information they get about you, they use that to convince you they're legitimate.
Right. Yeah, the patina of legitimacy, that little kernel that makes you think it's right, and especially not prejudice against older folks and stuff, but they are the targets of that. They're just more susceptible to those kinds of tactics and tricks, it's so dangerous. My gosh, I have to constantly remind my mother, who's 77, still has her wits and stuff about her. And she asks me questions about emails she gets or phone calls she gets, and I have to constantly remind her to not divulge any information to any of these people. You assume it's poison from the get-go, and don't trust anyone.
I had one guy who was phishing, and I'm like, dude, I don't give information to people who call me.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, I can give you a number to call me right back.
So what?
Like, I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
Wow, that was pretty stupid.
Yeah. I mean, they're fishing for stupid people, or just people who are vulnerable, or caught off guard,
Yeah, caught off guard. Absolutely, you can. Yeah. So none of us are immune to it. There's no inoculation against it 100%. You just got to keep your guard up as best as possible at all times.
Yeah.
For anybody on Twitch who likes to watch maybe some of this stuff, there's a guy, Kit Boga, who does he keeps scammers on the phone for hours and hours.
I love those. I love them.
So funny.
Or when they try to infect someone's computer with malware and they're against the computer program, and not and then they wind up taking over the scammer's computer. I'd love and hold them up with ransomware or something.
It's fantastic. So,
I love
stuff.
that.
He's
yeah.
So we have some more questions. Here's one. Steve, it burns when I pee. What do I do?
Don't pee.
Don't pee. Stop peeing. Get a rubber band.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 times around should do it.
Have a tube inserted.
I'll give you the answer I give everybody. Go see your doctor.
Yeah, really. Another one, let's see. Have you guys heard of Ohm Connect? They pay people in California to reduce energy use during peak use when non-renewables have to be spun up.
Haven't heard of it.
No,
But
haven't heard of that.
don't the electric companies always like have off-peak and off-peak times? They're always kind of changing the costs of things based on
Right.
peak usage, and they're trying to discourage that. It
That
sounds like just another sort of, that method being employed.
Yeah.
Regarding
I don't know.
renewable energies or something.
Get a big battery, maybe.
Batteries.
If eventually. Was there anything about your trips to Australia and New Zealand where you thought this is really crazy or this is fantastic? Why don't we do this? Also, do you enjoy not tipping? I guess that was a question.
Do you enjoy not tipping?
That was several years ago. I don't know.
So one thing in the this is crazy category was beets on hamburgers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I like beets, but it just no.
And they
I
charged us like 35
25
cents a
cents a
packet
packet.
for and they don't call it ketchup or ketchup. I think they called it sauce, didn't they?
Just sauce.
They called it something like tomato sauce or something. It's ketchup. Maybe somebody can comment on that. It was, unusual. But beets, you could have all the beets you want on your burger.
Yeah. Yeah, I took the beet off. I asked for ketchup, but they gave me one thing.
You took a what?
One little thing, and they gave me a dirty look while they gave it to me. Ketchup is not a thing on hamburgers. It has to be.
A lady yelled at me for ordering a tea with milk. She said it's a white tea. I was like, okay, sorry. I don't know. I was like, it's a tea with milk. It's the
Oh
same
gosh.
thing, so I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
She said it a little snippier than that. Anyway, what questions do you get asked too much at live events, etc., and are sick of answering? That question. What's the worst question you got asked? Oh boy.
The worst question.
I mean, we did at one event. We did that fact where we answered all of the most common questions we got. I was at a Dragon Con. I think we did that.
Mm-hmm.
Like one is, how does Steve get so much done? Like everyone asks that. Do you sleep?
What is this, a podcast?
Yes, like that.
Oh gosh.
What are some of the other common ones?
Like kind of worse questions. I don't know that they really phrase them in the form of questions, more like direct comments towards us.
Well, sometimes people ask, like, what are you not skeptical of? Nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Why would we not be skeptical of something?
I'm not skeptical that the Earth is.
Yeah. Yeah. Just people
round.
People trying to be funny in their own way. Points for effort, but need more practice.
Question: what's the biggest tax bill Evan has worked out?
You mean how much money a person owed in taxes?
Probably. I think that's a common one, right?
Yeah.
There was an individual who owed tax returns that I prepared. Federal amount was about $2.1 million plus states. So probably that was state. So almost $3 million of income taxes that they owed. That's that's unusual. I don't usually people who have those sums normally have
what did they earn?
Whole firms and stuff. Yeah, that was
they must have made what?
It was it's like
$1 million.
And were they 12, 15, something like that. Some after their deductions and other things going on. So they were in the $10 to $15 million of having to report reportable income for that particular year.
I wouldn't mind paying $3 million if if I was making 10 to 15.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot going on with those kinds of tax returns. There's not just straight take the money times the tax rate and there's your tax. No, it's not like that. They get all kinds of different kinds of treatment depending on the type of income. There's a ton of moving parts to these things, all kinds of schedules, places where you can deduct things and take credits for other things, and it's complex and does not by design. I don't complain because it keeps me employed, but at the same time I find it onerous, I think is the correct word to describe our tax code. It's onerous.
Somebody asked what the orange skull is behind me.
Oh,
Which orange skull is that?
You have an orange skull? Let's take a
better one
closer
than
look.
Grimbeard.
Is that
Oh, the big one, the bear. Is that the bear skull? Isn't that a bear?
wait? This
Yes.
thing here?
Yeah. Is that a pumpkin?
That's a pumpkin. That's a jack o' lantern.
Okay. Who had a bear skull? Someone owned a bear.
Jack-o'-lantern. Someone asked how it got so dark.
Yeah.
Well, we're driving into the sun.
It's true.
I beg your pardon?
And it's set.
And it's that.
So it got very dark very quickly.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me my favorite movie monster, and I would have to say, The Thing. The creatures in the Thing is definitely like a top. At least.
Oh yeah, you guys still talk.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah, John Carpenter.
Yeah, John Carpenter's The Thing. Not the ridiculous first movie from the 50s.
That movie made quite an impression on you.
Oh, it was fantastic. It's his best movie in my opinion.
Because it was smart.
And a great movie, and I loved the actors and the writing was great. It holds up so well. So I would say that creature is definitely one of my favorites. It's hard to pick. I mean, Predator was a fantastic.
The Alien is a great straight up monster.
Xenomorph, yep, was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I've always known you'd be Thing enthusiasts. You speak about it regularly.
We did a review of that movie. Remember, Steve?
Yeah.
What I mean, I
AQ6?
don't think we ever released it.
But we did it again for AQ6.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. All right.
It was quite the thing.
Nah.
Thank you.
Speaking of, Grimbeard says, nice of Steve to prove that the Earth is not flat, live on stream. We have a TikTok coming out maybe tomorrow. I'll post it about flat Earth. So check out our TikTok.
Ooh.
TikTok.
Now, wait. Are you telling me that there are people on TikTok
yes,
who are promoting the notion that the Earth is flat?
Oh, yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Aggressively. And kind of using like old YouTube content and rehashing it and then just popularizing it off that. And it gets.
You see, that's the thing. The medium might be new or different or fresh or whatever. The content doesn't change, and that's true of a lot of paranormal and pseudosciences over the course of decades, or in some cases hundreds of years. It doesn't change. We talked about that, I think, last night, and when we recorded the show and coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So don't forget to download the Skeptic's Guide to the Universe podcast on your catcher and tell your friends. Download it twice.
And go to the TikTok and watch the one where the guy starts, it's all coming out now.
Oh,
all coming out now.
Is that? That's a thing.
We keep saying it in the studio, like we can't stop. He's so good.
Oh my gosh!
I'll send it to you.
My gosh.
Anyway,
TikTok.
Let's see if we have any more questions.
Maybe one more.
For Evan, which concerts are planning on going this year, and are you planning on masking?
Ooh, yes. So there are concerts coming up. Obviously Rachel's big music fan, heavy metal, and hardcore metal is her thing. She's actually going to Florida next week. I will not be going to that. She's attending a festival of shows down there. But when she comes back, we are scheduled to see. Among the groups are going to be August Burns Red. You know, these are like her favorite groups. The Word Alive is another favorite group of hers. We have tickets to see Silverstein and 3 Days Grace. They're coming to Bridgeport. And, you know, those are some of the most immediate ones coming up. And will I be masking? No. I mean, I have to be honest, I guess, is that no, I've not been masking. Just have not been, nor really have anyone else been. You know, we're obviously aware, and we do try to limit our physical touching of stuff. You know, I understand that only gets you so far, but you know, our behaviors and patterns have altered and eased with lots of other people, and now we're not adhering to the strict masking, and there are very few, frankly, people at these events and shows that have been masking. I've hardly seen it at all lately. So, you know, we're inoculated. We have our shots, and you know, we'll if we do happen to get it, at least, you know, we'll know that it won't be it likely will not be a life-ending kind of experience for us. So, we're happy for that.
I think that was it in terms of it being the last one.
All right. We've left Steve in the dark, literally.
Oh,
there he is. There he is.
Yeah, my connection's getting buggy.
You must be heading. Still in Pennsylvania, or you made it to Maryland yet?
It must be in Amish country.
We are just entering Maryland.
Just
ironically, just as you asked that.
Is that the Mason?
We're in Maryland now.
All right.
Horse and buggy. Yes,
all right.
Horse and buggy.
5G is tanking.
No.
I still have 4 bars, actually.
4 bars isn't bad.
Someone asked if we will go speak to their college science class.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the answer is yes. But obviously, we need to have our time and travel and everything covered. But we do seminars, talks, live shows, whatever, for colleges, universities, corporations. Jay and Ian are putting together a website right now to put all that information in one place. But if you have any interest on having us do any kind of live event for your institution, just email us.
All right.
info@theskepticsguide.org.
Yeah, you could. Yep, and there's also the form on the website.
Yeah. Plenty of ways.
Cool.
All right. So that's it then, huh?
That's it then. There.
Another one in the can.
In the can. We did
on its way to our YouTube page and everywhere else that this goes up, right?
Exactly.
All right. Well, have a good weekend, everybody. Be safe.
Yep, enjoy your weekend.
Man,
it's nice to speak with everyone.
Friday. And remember,
thanks, everyone.
The Last of Us is on tonight, not Sunday night this week.
Oh,
because of Super Bowl. They don't want to go up against that Super Bowl.
Oh, that's right.
That's why. See, I knew it'd come full circle back to that.
Important to know.
That is important.
All right.
Thanks,
all right,
Ian.
here we go. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Ian. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
And Jay, we love you wherever you are.
Skeptic's Guide to the Universe is produced by SGU Productions, dedicated to promoting science and critical thinking. For more information, visit us at theskepticsguide.org. Send your questions to info@theskepticsguide.org. And if you would like to support the show and all the work that we do, go to patreon.com/skepticsguide and consider becoming a patron and becoming part of the SGU community. Our listeners and supporters are what make SGU possible.
Oh,
Is it just us, Ian?
yep. It was almost Steve.
Oh,
But-
I was gonna say. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, okay, so Steve's on a different, obviously a different situation tonight. Is there a chance he's gonna leave the phone on? Maybe he's watching this right now. Maybe there's a chance.
He could be back on the YouTube, but I don't think he's on the YouTube. It's just he was connected. That's why his audio was also partially out of sync, because we connected him slightly differently with audio and visuals.
Oh my gosh.
So he was there for a moment, but I kicked him out.
It will happen. There is going to come a day in which, and we do not know when that will be.
Coming out now.
Oh my gosh. In which Steve will be like, "Hey, what's this? What's going on? Why is it?
Wait a minute.
What's all this then? What's this post-extreme show all about?" I know, Ian. It's great being with you and being able to do these extra couple of minutes at the end of each show. I enjoy it very much.
Sure.
I do miss Jay. It's and I think the three of us kind of have this secret club that we are in charge of, and all of our friends out here who continue to watch are part of that sort of exclusive club, and it's special. It is special. It is singular. It is unique. And thanks to you.
Thank you. Here, let's. I'm gonna play this.
Oh, show me something.
Thing that since it about a dozen times. Let me see if I can get it to actually show up. Oh, there it is. Here we go. You should be able to see this. Let me know if you can see that.
Not on my screen.
There's a toggle there.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, what is this?
I'm telling you, it's all coming out now. They found a giant mummified finger in Egypt.
So please, when you see
okay, go watch our TikTok. It's good. Anyway, that's the beginning part that we've just been reciting over and over.
It's all coming out now.
It's all coming out now. Yeah, that video was about proof of giants. Apparently, a giant finger. It was indicative of giants building the pyramids.
That kind of yeah. Look, these sort of, well, I don't know, what do you call that? A catchphrase, I guess, or a teaser or something. But the idea that there's this pot of secret information and stuff that is, for some reason, has reached this critical mass, and the moment of this explosion, basically, of information or the truth is going to come oozing out onto your screen and into your ears and all that, and you will realize, and you'll have new clarity in your life. I give him props for creativity, or sort of creating that sort of intrigue. In a way, it does appeal to a certain part of a brain that has this sort of, I don't know, tendency towards fantasy, maybe that piques your curiosity, if nothing else. So I give him points for that. At the same time, when you hear it, it's so hokey, in a way, so sort of like over the top, at the same time that you can't help but laugh. It's just,
yeah,
it's in a way hilarious.
Yeah,
because like, pal, who are you kidding? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, you might be impressing some 14-year-old people on TikTok, but what? Oh gosh, it's just so silly.
Just gotta laugh at it. Have fun.
Now that finger,
yeah,
right? Are we gonna go into why? Steve does. Obviously, you have to go watch the video and see Steve's reaction to that, because he'll tell you in very concisely exactly what's going on with that and that sort of idea about giants that have roamed the earth. One of the back up to 1996, when we were the Connecticut Skeptical Society, just a local skeptics group. We were just starting, really just cutting our teeth on skeptical activism, which really our rookie years and stuff. And there was a professor, Ken Fader is his name. He's written some books on and he's an archaeology professor at Central Connecticut State University. He came and he lectured for us a couple of different times in those early years before there was, frankly, the modern internet as we know it. We actually had to. There was only meetings in person. That was it, and a printed physical newsletter that we mailed to people. That's how it was. And Dr. Fader, Ken, would come and talk, and the first subject that he gave us a lecture about was the Cardiff Giant. Ian, are you familiar with the legend of the Cardiff Giant? You heard about it, maybe?
I don't know. I mean, I know there was a guy who was like 8 feet tall, right? But like, is that the same thing? Or is this like some other weird thing?
So in the 1800s, in the late 1800s, so it's kind of a long story, but effectively what a person did is he decided to pull a hoax on everyone, in which they carved this large giant, quote unquote, out of wood, a big, huge piece of wood, 9 feet tall or whatever. This thing, and took a year to carve it and make and age it and everything else, buried it in the ground so that it would be purposefully discovered by someone, and someone did dig it up and like, oh my gosh, what do we have here? Look, proof of a giant. And this thing took off like wildfire, to the point where P.T. Barnum wound up purchasing the giant and putting it on his, traveling circus roadshow. And I think he paid like $25,000 for it in 1860 or $1870, which is not an insignificant sum of money. That's how big this particular thing was. And it took them years for some reason to figure out that this thing was a piece of basically wood. Oh, no, not wood. It was granite. It was a statue. It was a fossilized person, right? And of course, it's all tied in with Bibles, because in the Bible and religion, because giants are talked about often in I think New Testament, maybe probably Old Testament as well. So, and when that's all you kind of knew in the 1800s was your Bible and your teachings of that sort, this fit in so like perfectly sort of with the culture at the time, and the phenomenon was off the charts. This thing went on tour all over the place and got passed and purchased and sold, and it was a deathbed. I think it was a deathbed confession by the person who actually did it. So this is what Ken Fader came in and talked to us about in this connection with giants. This was I think the second lecture that the Connecticut Skeptical Society promoted. And I was new to it all, just kind of really learning about all this stuff. I was so captivated and so fascinated with that story. I actually have it. I have somewhere. I have a video, because I used to videotape the meetings of the lectures, and I have a whole video series, like on VHS tapes and 8mm. Super 8, or not film, but what was it? What was the 8 video format back then, Ian?
High 8?
High 8? Was it High 8? I think I have some High 8 tapes of all that stuff. I should look into dusting off some of that old material. I think that would make for fascinating extra content for
okay.
Too, because it doesn't exist anywhere else except for we record it and like made VHS copies of people for people who wanted to buy it. It's kind of how we got a little bit of money to do the stuff that we did. And that was one of my favorite lectures still to this day, was learning about the Cardiff Giant and the whole, idea of sort of giants and skepticism, and how those two circles, cross over, and the analysis of it all. Oh my gosh, it was so fascinating. So when I saw the giant finger, I couldn't help but think of, oh my gosh, Cardiff Giant. That brought me back to 1996. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think I was thinking of Robert Wadlow, something like that, who's was reported to be one of the tallest people ever.
Oh yeah. The fellow.
I thought he was English,
almost,
but he was U.S.
Oh,
he was 8 feet 11 inches.
Is that right?
Yeah, apparently. He was...
Ian, do you have another minute? It's about 60 seconds more.
Let's go.
Because somebody was asking. They were asking about Azul and Wingspan. So these are some of the board games that I own. Let me.
That one means blue.
Wingspan. Now, I have it. It's still actually in the cellophane. Okay.
Woo.
But this particular game, obviously, it's called Wingspan. And this is an award-winning game. Her name is her name is Elizabeth Hargrave. And I actually do an interview with Elizabeth on Which Game First. So if you want to go look at our videos at our channel, Which Game First, while you're there, please like, subscribe, smash the buttons, and share with all your friends, as you usually do. That would be appreciated. We interviewed her, and she is she's really great. And her games are about nature, obviously. Wingspan was an award-winning game because it's got some beautiful artwork, and I'm leaving it in cellophane for the moment. We have another copy of the one that we played with. I'm not just going to open this quite yet. But if you go into this game, or if you look at the pieces and stuff online, I mean, I don't know if you can see how well you can see this stuff. Like, you know, the dice tower is a birdhouse, and like you have little eggs and things that you keep track of how the birds are populating certain regions with. It's just so beautifully designed and also factually correct. The amount of research that she worked with, people who are bird experts on making sure that the details about the particular birds that you're tracking in this game were scientifically accurate, and and their habitats were correct and everything. And it's just really, but the game itself also plays really well. It's a well-designed game, not just the content, not just the theme or the components. Everything about it was great. And it's definitely was a highly reviewed and a well-loved game from a couple years ago. She has a couple other games about butterflies. What was that one called? Mariposa, I think, is the title of that one. And Elizabeth is right now in the middle of designing another game about fungus, about mushrooms. She is a mushroom enthusiast. She belongs to a society of fungus enthusiasts, like in the Maryland area. She and her husband are very active in that. So last time I spoke with her, I did ask her if she'd be willing to come on to Skeptic's Guide to the Universe to talk more about kind of the intersection of board game and science. And I'm hoping at some point this year she will definitely be able to do that. So
she obviously hasn't played or watched The Last of Us. Spoilers.
Yeah, right.
So,
all right. Okay, we are way over time here. Ian, I'm going to let you get back to your lovely family as well. Thank you all out there for listening to me ramble in the post-extreme show about the things I like to ramble about. I very much appreciate it. Appreciate your time. Appreciate everything you do, everything you support us with. And I just want to say that I'm recognizing names out there of people that I've known through SGU for a very long time, like Fred Bremer, among others. Obviously, I can't mention everybody, but there's just some names that have been around for 18 years, for as long as we've been doing this. And that kind of loyalty is just super special, and it's why we do it. So I just want to reiterate that. Thank you.
And stay tuned. There will be some announcements coming up for some extra stuff for patrons. And
Stuff is going to happen.
Stuff is happening.
Absolutely.
It's happening. All right. Bye-bye.
You'll love it. So long, everyone.